Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Power Rangers Podcast, Episode 5. I'm your host, Dr. Whitman, and joining with me, my co-host, the O. Okay, there we go. Joining me is from the Disney Brain, JWR.
Howdy.
All right, today we're here to celebrate the 15th anniversary of Operation Overdrive. Then we'll have our hopes, we'll make our predictions for the season of Dino Fury. And we'll discuss about getting another live action Power Rangers movie and an animated reboot. And since St. Patrick's Day is coming up, we'll be talking about our favorite Green Rangers. And we'll talk about whatever.
If we can think of something to think up something to talk about.
Yes. So anyway, let's get the show on the way. Let's celebrate happy 15th anniversary of Operation Overdrive.
Yes, happy 15th anniversary to what we thought at the time was the worst season of Power Rangers. Before we found out how much deeper the before we found out that we can actually go further. We thought that it was like the worst season, the absolute low point of Power Rangers and rock bottom, and then we realized that this franchise could dig deeper.
Oh. Honey, don't get me wrong. At least it tried.
Yeah, it tried. It didn't. The thing about Operation Overdrive is that it had good ideas and concepts. It's just that it's the execution that let them down.
Agreed. But it does have its moments.
It does. It has its moments. It has impressive stunt work. I honestly stand by Rose being, I guess, kind of underrated when people talk about Pink Rangers. She's okay. She's no Kendricks, but I think she deserves to be talked about more.
Mm-hmm. And then she's the first person. She is the woman who created the battleizer for Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as we all know, it can't work. Can't work on normal humans. It'll destroy them. But Mac's an android, so that would probably work.
Yeah, that always did baffle me.
So it did work. And the saddest moment of the whole show was Mac finding out that he was an android his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad, really. To find out you're a robot your entire life.
It's a lie.
Makes us all the more sad. Oh, Lord. I mean, Disney era. Why are you giving us goosebumps? Oh. But, and the battleizer seem cool. Now, the villains, they weren't as bad. Voltor and Florius. See?
Florius. But yeah.
They were actually kind of fun.
They were. I actually they were fun. Plus, I think it arguably has one of the better I guess anniversary episodes with Once a Ranger.
Ah, yes, I remember that episode. But originally, I would have Jack return for
that. Wasn't the actor busy at the time? I don't know. I've never looked into that, but
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, Brandon J. McLaren. Yeah, I think he was busy at that time. He was dating the yellow Dino Thunder Ranger.
Yes,
I remember that.
Originally, wait, they were.
Yeah, they were dating.
Oh.
I mean, they brought back Adam from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I was like, yes. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
Oh, I guess they did. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the season overall?
Overall, despite having some great ideas, execution wise, it did not do so well. But at least they tried compared to Megaforce
No, or Ninja Steel.
or Ninja Steel. Oh god.
You know, it's funny. I often go back and forth between whether or not I think Megaforce is worse or whether or not I think Ninja Steel is worse. Because on the one hand, Megaforce suffered from too many cooks in the kitchen, underdeveloped ideas, and just plain being lazy. But it kind of tried to to put forth ideas like the ultimate battle. I mean, it's similar to Operation Overdrive in that there were interesting ideas and that it had its moments, but they were hindered by poor execution, and by behind the scenes drama. With Ninja Steel, God, the biggest problem with Ninja Steel is that it's boring. It's dull. It's completely unambitious. Has no there. It doesn't take any kind of chances, and it takes no chances. And the one and like the things and in the moments in which it does take a chance, or it looks like it might do something interesting, they completely chickened out and went for in favor of a cheap gag.
Right. And on the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers 2, at that point, if you
No,
want to, well, around Megaforce had its 20th anniversary. Power Rangers itself as a whole had a 20th anniversary at that
and then the 25th with Super Ninja Steel, aka
time.
the only episode of Ninja Steel that's worthwhile.
Dimensions in Danger. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that episode. That team up.
It
They
should have been a
team up.
two-parter. Even then, it should have been a two-parter.
Yeah, yeah. But at least we brought back Tommy. We brought back Jason Font, aka West, the Red Tiger as well too. Then we got
Yeah, I'll
RPM, we got
give
Dino Charge, Dino Fury, Megaforce,
him props for that much at least.
and Turbo. Well, we never found out who was Tommy talking to on the phone in the beginning of the team up episode.
Nah,
We never get to find out. Either he was talking to Kimberly or talking to Catherine at that point. At that time, I never knew he had a son JJ at that
that was
time.
clever.
That's very clever indeed. Um, but yeah, Ninja Steel overall, it's just a mess. It's just a mess.
Right.
Every sense of the word. So enough about it. Very enough. Let's give our hopes and predictions on Down of Thunder. Down of Fury season 2. Sorry, I've been stuck on the Disney era for a bit. So, what is
Oh.
your predictions for season 2 of Down of
Hopefully more of the same. Generally looking forward to seeing this team keep interacting with each other, because I think their interactions have probably been the interactions between the team have probably been the highlight of the season. Looking forward to seeing more Solon, who I guess who is a vast improvement in terms of like mentors when compared to like Commander Shaw. I want to see what they're gonna do with Void Knight after where we last saw him in season two. I'm really curious to see how they handle the lore and the Morphin Masters. You know, basically to sum it all up, I'm looking forward to seeing if they can keep up the momentum from Dino Fury, because recent Power Ranger seasons have had this problem of having a solid first half and then not really sticking the landing in the second half. So I'm curious to see what they do in the second half, and if we can maybe break that trend. It doesn't have to be like on par with the finale for In Space or Lost Galaxy or Time Force, but just I don't know, just end on a solid enough note.
Let's see. So, for my predictions, I hope they'll bring Rhea Soul Max to this. 'Cause it looks
Ryus
so. It gives
Ryuso
me back
Max.
to the. It gives me Dino Thunder vibes when Connor activates that the she. He activates his Battleizer.
Oh, the Battleizer.
Yeah, why did they call it Super Firepower? Though that
Hmm,
really didn't make any sense.
I don't know. It's Power Rangers. After a while, you learn to just kind of, I guess, accept or not really question what they name their stuff or how they name it.
And I kind of like Triassic Battleizer better. Makes it cooler.
Yeah.
And, and we had the first Red Ranger to become a Six Ranger. That's never been done before.
It hasn't.
No, it hasn't. Because 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 I know Tommy was the fourth member to join that team as a Six Ranger. Then Trent came as a Six Ranger as well. And Connor has well has the Shield of Triumph, making him the Triassic Ranger. So that technically qualifies as a Six Ranger.
I guess.
So now he's made history.
Red Ranger becoming a Sixth Ranger. Oh, you're right.
Yep, yep.
Wait,
Connor,
did you say Sixth Ranger becoming a Red Ranger or Red Ranger becoming a Sixth Ranger? I'm
Red
confused
Ranger
now.
becoming a Six Ranger.
Oh. Yeah, that's only really happened once as far as I know.
Yeah. Too bad it never happens again, though. Too bad it never happens again. That would have been very cool to see.
Hmm. Depends on who they use, I guess.
Yeah. I guess they were like out of money or so.
Right. Although hopefully under Netflix, money shouldn't be as big of an issue. Big of an issue in the future.
We'll see. We'll see. You never know. And also, see, I wonder what happened if we have, man, if we had a full Dino crossover featuring Mighty Morphin, Dino Thunder, Dino Charge, and Dino Fury.
Oh, never. It's never gonna happen.
That I know, budget because of COVID. God dang it. But that would have been cool to
Not
see.
well, not just because of budget, but because I'm pretty sure most of the actors, especially the actors who played in from Dino Fury, want nothing to do with Power Rangers anymore. Which, hey, that's their choice, but yeah, I don't think you're ever, unless you can somehow convince them to come back, or you make up some excuse for why we're not seeing their faces. Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, in Great Connections, mm, we had the Mighty Morphin and the Dino Charge Red Rangers.
Yeah, because the
That was pretty
actors
cool.
wanted to come, because they got the actors, or at least the actors wanted to come back, or they convinced the actors to come back. I I think convincing anybody from like the Dino Thunder era to come back, yeah, that's going to be a hard sell. But maybe you could get Jeffrey, the dude who played Trent, but that's the only one in the Dino Thunder cast who I think would be a feasible get for them at this point.
But well, what? Yeah, but I'm kind of ticked off that RPM wasn't part of the crossover because it
Which
really fits the spy feed.
which crossover
Hmm.
with Beast Morphers?
Yeah, that because it had Vengeance.
Would have been interesting,
Yeah, would have been interesting because it
but
fits.
would have been, but again, I don't think you'd have a hard time convincing any of the actors to come back, like the actual RPM Ranger actors. Like they were lucky enough to get God damn it, to get Dr. K back and the guy who played Venjix. Although even then there were issues with how they handled that. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of sad though. It would be cool. It would be cool to get the RPM Rangers back.
Hmm, it'd be cool. It'd be even cooler.
Yeah, that would be more cool.
Wait, no, I'm asking you, do you know what would be even cooler?
What? What?
If we could get a recent season that's as good as RPM. That's what I think would be neat.
And Dino Fear is getting close too.
Uh, let's not go. Okay, let's slow down there a bit. It's not. It's good. It's fun. It's enjoyable, but It's not RPM. It's not RPM level. It's not RPM tier.
Ah,
It's certainly a lot better. It's certainly a lot better than what we've been getting from the Neo Saban era, and as of now, it's at least more consistently good than Beast Morphers.
yeah.
But let's not jump the gun. Let's not jump the gun just yet.
All right. Well, yeah, true.
It
Uh,
could, but we don't know that yet.
all right.
Although if they were somehow able to pull it off, if the second season is like up there with RPM or Lost Galaxy, um, I mean, if they somehow pulled it off, I'd be impressed. I'm not saying we should expect that because that is I don't think that's a reasonable place to have our expectations. But if they somehow manage to pull it off, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, I would be impressed too. Oh, right.
Actually, wait. Since we're on, before we move on, we talked about what we're looking forward to, but I guess I guess we should maybe flip that and discuss what our concerns might be.
Yeah, let's flip it. What our concerns might be for season two of Dino Fury.
You first.
My concern is if they do decide, if they do decide to do the Rhea Soulbacks now, well, if they decided to do it, no way. If they do decide to like change up, I'm afraid it might be not as good as season one is for the first half of season one. And I'm afraid. No, sorry, my brain is not on full blast. It's not on full power yet. If for some reason that season two won't be as good as season one, then I'm afraid it's gonna lose that credibility.
What are some things that you think could happen that would make it not as good as season two, in your eyes at least?
Like in my eyes, like too many cheap gags, too many, too many, mm, like too much, not too much filler. Too, we don't want to have a also we don't want to have a rushed conclusion to that. No, we don't want to have that because if we do, then it'll kind of lose. As I said, it will be losing that credibility. Well, season two's credibility.
I guess I'll share some of mine. I
Yeah,
am hoping that they. My fear is that they won't capitalize on the potential that they could on the potential that they could be tapping into with the Sporix. Like if they play this right, they could do with the Sporix something similar with what they did with the Orgs in Wild Force or the mutants in Time Force. I think I it I'm hoping that we get some kind of follow up in with regards to Javi's relationship with his dad. Maybe even I guess okay more follow up on the stuff that's going on with Amelia and her parents. Definitely some kind of follow up or some kind of at some point some attempt to address with all the stuff with Zato and Rafcon, either to resolve that or just not, as long as they just don't leave it a hanging thread and address it in some way that makes it, I guess, less questionable, less problematic, makes or at least makes more sense. If they I would I am worried that they're either going to not address that at all, or come up with an unsatisfactory way of concluding that. That's what worries me. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but that's what concerns me at the moment.
Well, yeah, I can agree on that.
Oh, another thing. I'm worried that this season will be the continuation of a recent issue that I've been having with Power Rangers these days. That being too much reliance on this, too much MMPR nostalgia or reliance on that kind of nostalgia. The last thing I want is for Lord Zed to show up again at the last second and be the main the big bad guy. Both because it's it, because again it would be continuing the trend of Power Rangers becoming too reliant on MMPR nostalgia, and it would undermine Zordon's sacrifice at the end of In Space. Now he is likely going to pop up at some point in season 2. I just hope that they do it in a way that doesn't feel, you get the point.
Yeah, I get the point. But what about Ion? I mean, we wish the Sato Ion conflict over their past Ion's new role as the leader lasted more than one episode. Because
Yeah.
it had some really sweet conflict potential. It could have been down here as one of the best arcs, especially with the entire team at odds with Sato. And him slowly regaining that.
Right. Um, do we have anything else to talk about? I feel like this is a good place to leave it off for now, at least, since this week was, I guess, kind of light on news, and I don't want to just want this to be like another 30 minutes of dead air.
Yeah, yeah. I think let's discuss on next topic here. We might be getting another live action Power Rangers and an anime.
Hmm.
I mean, what was your thoughts on the first one?
The what?
There was a live action Power Rangers movie that came out.
Oh, the one from 2017.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, oh, it was fine. Eh, eh. I don't. It was. I don't know. I get what they were trying to go for. I thought it had its moments, but honestly, this is the honestly okay. The movie itself wasn't anything to write home about. I think I've become practically a broken record when it comes to talking about how much I feel Power Rangers become too reliant on, I guess, I on using nostalgia for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So I get that didn't help. Also, I guess also I'm just I have grown very weary of the recent trend of dark and gritty reboots, especially considering that Power Rangers is the last property that is fitting that is befitting for like a dark and gritty reboot. I've been saying for like if they were going to model it after anything or take inspiration from anything, I'll say this much: the MCU, I feel, is like the template for how a Power Rangers movie should feel like in terms of tone and like in terms of tone and goals. Because I mean, it's Power Rangers for God's sake. Part of the appeal is the fact that it doesn't take itself too seriously, that it's not dark and gritty and realistic. I mean, it gets dark and serious every now and then, but it's not to the point of feeling joyless. Although to be fair, that's not something that just Power Rangers that the 2017 Power Rangers movie was guilty of. Honestly, I blame um yeah, it's I blame that more on studios learning the wrong lessons from the Dark Knight movies,
Yeah. I
which
mean,
is which kind of funny since I recently just rewatched The Dark Knight today.
so you watched it. Everyone said that was a good, great movie. Everyone said that.
Yes.
And I mean, my thoughts on it. I I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was okay. It didn't really. I mean, it shows us how a reality of Angel Grove would look like. You know, all the fights. It looks kind of, and the Zord designs were kind of cool. And I like the fact that we have an autistic Blue Ranger.
That was interesting. That I appreciated that.
Yes, I appreciate that. I love that. That's kind of cool. That's right. And the fact that we already know that Jason, well, in the original series, Jason was a martial artist, but in the movie, Jason is a football player, star football player in high school. And I mean, and it comes to the point that he's so well known in that community, and, and I was cool with that. I was cool. But the one that really stirred me up though was it wasn't really much. The Megasaur fight wasn't really much of them.
That's an actually that's another thing. I hated the design of the Megazord. I hated it.
Yeah, in
I
some ways I
it's
can
the
believe
trick.
it.
It's this the what would you call it? The I guess the I get that they're going for more alien aesthetic and design, but it was just too garish and hideous for my liking. Okay, hideous is a bit harsh, but it's a bit I didn't it wasn't for I didn't like the way it looked aesthetically. I'll just say that much.
Yeah,
Oh, also, did we also I'm sure no I'm sure tons of people have already made fun of the Krispy Kreme product placement.
oh yeah. Wait, why did they have a Krispy Kreme in there?
I don't
Oh,
know.
does everybody like donuts or something?
Maybe I don't know. I mean I it's so rare. It's just it's so random though.
Yeah, it's so random and out of nowhere. I mean, but what about Goldar's design though?
Did not care for it at all.
Oh yeah, don't blame you there. I get it what they're trying to do, make it more like alienist, but no, no.
Ugh.
What about Elizabeth Banks? That's Rita Raposa.
She was fine. I Her performance was fine. I just wasn't her performance was fine, and I like the idea of her being of her being of her being the former Green Ranger. But I don't know. But I guess like the rest of the movie, if I felt as though it was trying a little too hard to be grim and gritty. Okay, all complaints aside, I did. The one thing about the movie that I did love was the casting of Brian. Was that Brian Cranston is on?
Yeah, Brian.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. The command center itself, it looks cool. It looks good. It looks good. But overall, the movie for me was okay. Didn't really have much of an excitement factor, but it was alright nonetheless. But anyway, I've been told that we might get an animated reboot of the show. And I was like, now how would that work? Animated how?
We're from.
This was from Doom's Raider. Doom's Raider YouTube.
Dawson's Rider.
Yeah, Doom's Raider on his YouTube channel. I was like,
Okay, but I know of him, but where did he get that from?
I mean, he did it. It was like days ago, I believe. You know, you're from a source. I'm not too certain, but we're supposed to get one apparently. I mean, this was planned around 2019. The second live action one. All right. You know, oh.
So wait, are you still trying to find the source? Because I don't. What news outlet did he get this from, or is this just speculation?
Yeah, there's a speculation that.
Okay, it's speculation. Okay, so then at that, and in which case we can kind of disregard that and just safely label it as just that speculation, because my take on any kind of Power Rangers related news is that unless we hear something from the people working on the show, the people starring on the show, or like the higher ups from Hasbro, until or unless we hear anything from those people, I am taking everything. I am either taking everything with a massive grain of salt or disregarding it as rumors.
Anyway, well, I mean, there's there's a lot of reboots going on in Hollywood. Like they brought back like all the old shows, old movies. I mean, and there's a few twists and turns. Well, I mean, they might come back. Oh, I'm freaking out now. Okay. There. Yeah, they're making a 6th Transformers movie, as we recall in the last episode we did.
Two episodes ago, actually.
Oh, 2 episodes ago. Yeah, the Transformers Rise of the Predacons.
I think so.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I like we're trying to get more lore and more Transformers lore in here, but how are they going to do it is the issue. And then, oh yeah. So, yeah, I've seen like a news thing that DC Titans might return for season 4 on HBO Max.
Oh, of course. Yeah, not a fan. I'm not crazy about it. I don't hate it, but yeah, it's not. Titans doesn't do it for me.
To me, it's okay. To me, it's getting good. But after that, they might move to Netflix for season 5.
Back to Netflix?
Yeah, they might take it to Netflix for season 5.
Why would they do that?
Well, that's what I'm hearing right now.
I don't buy that.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, I looked it up when I was finished watching season 3. and they are doing a fourth season. I wish that will be soon because I can't wait. I believe that's the end of March. That's what they're saying. The end of March. I think debut season 4. And season 5 won't debut till like mid August. Well, yeah, late August, early September. So about around the fall season. But overall, Titans is kind of good. Kind of good. Love the accuracy and the characters, the designs of the costumes. It's getting well, it's getting good. But anyway, are you ready to see Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness?
Of course I am.
Hell yeah! Can't wait to see that movie.
Of course. Although, again, the Batman since the bat we're on the eve of the Batman coming out, so that's what has my attention at the moment.
Yes. I mean, everyone is saying that we might. There's a speculation that we might see a live action Batman Beyond movie.
Possibly. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. But how's that going to work though? Is the issue. That's the problem I have. And then Michael Keaton is back as Batman.
Yes, he's for both the Flash movie and the HBO Max Batgirl movie. Yes,
because I think Christian Bale is a better Batman.
It's debatable. I love how we keep going on these non-Power Ranger related tangents every time we do a Power Ranger show. I mean, God, it just goes to show how completely barren or empty the well is when it comes to news regarding Power Rangers. Now, hopefully that'll change in the coming months, but there's almost nothing to talk about.
Yes. We may
nothing
be
to talk.
Server, but we also will talk about other things as well.
Well, yeah, nothing to talk about this week at least.
Well, this week at least. But the least we can do is just spend some time with us when we talk about our favorite things, what we do, what's going on in the movies, television, all that good stuff. And yeah. But anyway. Oh. Oh, right.
Quick. So, I guess we can wrap this up with a quick. What do you? Since we're on the topic, what is your excitement level for the Batman?
For the Batman, when I first heard it was coming out, and I heard Robert Pattinson's going to be the next Batman, I was like, it took me way by surprise.
I think it took wasn't everybody taken by surprise?
Yeah, I was taken by surprise that Robert Pattinson's going to be Batman. Because I never thought I'd see him do a DC character. Ever. Because I already know him from Twilight. But if he pulls it off, then he might be the best Batman in recent history.
He very well could be.
But if he doesn't, then we'll know where we'll stand.
Well, if the earlier reviews tell us anything, I think he pulled it off.
Yep. So yeah, I guess we can wrap this up here. I'm sorry, you guys. If we don't have any more Power Ranger news and such.
Not this week at least.
Anyway, not this week anyway. But that's okay, because you know what? We'll talk about other things in like future episodes.
Plus, if it makes you feel any better, we'll probably spend most of next week's episode talking about the first half of Dino Fury.
Yeah. See, there we go. It wasn't too boring, but I'm glad that you watched it anyway. But anyway, that is going to be it for episode 5 for Wrestle Speak Podcast. All right, for JWR, for the Disney Brain, this is Dante Pittman saying goodbye for now, and may the power protect you all.
Always.
Always.
Till next time.
Till next time.